What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are basically going to continue our coverage over Secret Invasion. Now, remember, guys, Secret Invasion was the storyline that came out back in 2008. Not the new one that came out this year, but basically, it was the idea that you had the alien race known as the Skrulls going around the Earth, replacing people left and right. So you had heroes being replaced, but you also had people and politics also being replaced. And of course, it was an invasion happening on Earth, but at a very slow pace because the Skrulls wanted revenge against the humans race, but also they believed the Earth belonged to them because of some prophecy. Now, with all that being said, though, the Skrulls have been doing this for a certain period of time where they have been going around replacing people left and right. And the ones who were not replaced, they had no idea that their friends have been basically replaced. And so that is how huge when it comes to Secret Invasion. Now, with that being said, though, you do have some heroes finding out because this all basically kicked off when the new Avengers team that's led by Luke Cage basically found a dead Elektra. But of course, that dead Elektra was a Skrull. And so the question was, how long the Skrulls have been doing this. Now, other heroes have been finding out about the Skrulls left and right. You know, you have the mighty Avengers find out and also the new Avengers. But of course, other heroes like the regular day heroes have no idea as Skrulls are going around replacing people. And the question is, though, who can they trust? Who can the people trust? Because now you have no idea that your friend or your wife or your kid could be a Skrull. And so that's how huge this huge crossover was back in 2008. Now, with that being said, we're going to cover New Avengers number 40 because this is the book that basically kind of gives us the Skrull plan. Well, pieces of it, not all of it, but some of it. It's Brian Michael Bendis playing a slow game. Now, when it comes to New Avengers number 40, it actually does pick up in the past, several years ago, where we actually do pick up right now with King Dorrek. Now, remember, years and years ago, you had the Illuminati, this hidden group in the Marvel Universe, basically go over to the Skrull race to kind of warn the Skrulls to never come to Earth ever again. Because remember, with the Kree-Skrull War, that war got so close to Earth that basically the heroes of Earth got involved in that war. And of course, the heroes did not like the idea of Earth being involved between a war between two different alien races that Earth had no part of. But of course, you had the Illuminati go over to the Skrulls to basically make a threat, saying that if you ever come to Earth ever again, we'll basically wipe out your entire race. Not like that, but, you know, kind of like that. But either way, though, you didn't have the Skrulls basically capture the Illuminati, did some tests on them, but you didn't have the Illuminati being able to just get away, just barely though. But the Illuminati did some damage to the Skrull race. And so this is King Dorrek saying, I want you guys to basically do everything in your power to help us begin our invasion on Earth. Like, do everything you can, but I want you guys to basically get us ready to invade the Earth down the road with, of course, our secret invasion plan. Now, right after that, we actually do pick up with Princess Veranke meeting up with King Dorrek. Now, this is kind of like a civil war in the Skrull race. And what I mean is that you have Princess Veranke very upset with King Dorrek because to her, she said that basically King Dorrek is ignoring everything that was foretold in their Bibles, their books, whatever, that what was going to happen to their planets across the universe. Because remember, when it comes to the Skrull Empire, they do have multiple planets under their control. But of course, a lot of their planets have been wiped out by Galactus, and that was foreseen down the road a while back. And of course, King Dorrek ignored those prophecies about the idea of Galactus basically doing that. And so, of course, it's really Princess Veranke saying that King Dorrek is not really being a good king. He's not listening to the words that were told to him about things to come down the road for their race. And of course, you have King Dorrek not liking the idea of Princess Veranke Veranke basically saying that. Now, you do have different Skrulls on each side. So you have some Skrulls who believe in what Princess Veranke was saying, and you have some Skrulls who believe what King Dorrek is saying is true. But basically, it does lead into a small civil war where you do have King Dorrek tell his people to capture Princess Veranke and her people and just lock them up, because right now she's causing a conflict in their empire. Now, of course, after the Civil War, you basically do have some of the regular Skrulls going to King Dorrek and basically telling him that what he just did was wrong. That basically with him but really did capturing Princess Veranke, it is going to cause a lot of problems down the road, because Princess Veranke is basically royal blood. And with her being royal blood, that basically means that you have a lot of people who look up to her, who believe in her and believe as the future queen of the Skrull race. And of course, you have King Dorrek not caring, because right now his main goal is to get revenge on the people of Earth, and really just the Illuminati, because it was the Illuminati who had basically came to the Skrull race, caused more problems for the Skrull, but also kind of made a threat to the Skrull race. And so King Dorrek does not care about the Civil War or how folks might be mad at him for basically capturing Princess Veranke. Veranke. But it's him saying, listen, what I care for right now is you guys basically beginning our plan of our invasion. So tell me one more time, do you have everything we need to basically begin our invasion? And you have one of his scientists say, yes, sir, I do. I do have everything we need, or we got from the Illuminati, to begin our plans for an invasion on Earth. And that's all King Dorrek basically cares for. But we actually do pick up right now with Princess Veranke, and we actually do see her right now still alive. Of course, we already knew that, but she's now been thrown on a random planet somewhere to keep her away from the Skrull Empire, but to also keep her away from basically ruining the plans of King Dorrek. But of course, she does have faith in the Skrull gods that basically she'll be able to come back to her race and be able to stop King Dorrek and hopefully replace him down the road. Now, that is the moment where we actually do pick up right now with Reed Richards waking up in the hospital and being confronted by his family and friends. Now, for Reed Richards, he's kind of like, what happened to me? What in the world is going on? And of course, you do have the Fantastic Four basically tell Reed, hey man, listen, you fought against Galactus and you won, but of course you got badly injured. Now, of course, for Reed Richards, he's kind of like, wait, I fought against who? Galactus, and I won? When this happened? What in the world are you talking about? But that is the moment you do have Reed's head, basically explode. And you're kind of like, why did Reed's head just explode? Is Reed dead? What in the world is going on? But basically, the king had killed off Reed Richards. And the reason why, because in the past, Reed Richards had turned one of the cousins of the king into a cow. And so as soon as the king saw this Reed Richards, he had to kill off this Reed Richards, even though this is not the real Reed Richards. That was a clone of Reed Richards, because right now you have the Skrulls trying to find different ways to basically invade the Earth. And one of their ways in the early times was to make clones of the different humans of the DNA samples they had. And of course, one of the samples was Reed Richards. And so right now they're trying to make different clones of different people to see if these clones will be a good way to invade the Earth. Now, later on in time, you basically had Galactus destroy the home world of the Skrulls. And this is actually very huge, because Queen Veranke did say to the king that basically you should be trying to protect our people, because it was foretold down the road that basically Galactus would destroy our home world. And here you are right now, not trying to prevent that. She told him that earlier in this video. She warned him what was coming down the road for the home world of the Skrulls. And of course, the king did not listen to her. And so what happened down the road? Galactus finally came and wrecked, and I mean completely wrecked, the home world of the Skrulls. Yes, they do have other worlds out there, but this was the home world of the Skrulls, and they basically lost it to Galactus, because remember, Galactus does go around and devours planets left and right to feed his hunger. And so, of course, he fed his hunger by going after the home world of the Skrulls. Now, some time has basically passed by where you basically do pick up right now with Queen Veranke. Now, remember, after the big civil war that took place earlier in this video, she was basically captured and sent to a random planet that was not really part of the Skrull Empire. But of course, there was no life on that planet. She was by herself. But basically, because the home world was wrecked, you didn't have the soldiers who had originally chose the king's side basically say, hey, listen, the queen was right. She told us that Galactus would come down the road, and he did. We were wrong to basically choose the side of the king. Instead, we should go find Veranke, the princess, and basically make her our queen. And so, of course, you do have those soldiers go out of their way to find her, and they say, we were wrong, you were right. Everything you heard in the prophecy was correct, that how Galactus would destroy our home world, and it happened. And so now they believe in what she said, that every single prophecy that has been laid out for the Skrulls spoke the truth, and they should have listened to those words. And now they're going to make her their queen and basically say, okay, if you say the prophecies speak the truth, then what's next? And of course, the next part of prophecy said the Skrulls will basically inherit the earth. They are going to take over the earth down the road. And so with Veranke kind of being in charge of the empire now, because she is the queen of the empire, you do want to make sure that the Skrull race does inherit the earth. And so with her now replacing the king and saying like, okay, the king had a game plan to go to earth, but his game plan was more for revenge. My game plan is more for inheriting the earth. And so with that, she says, okay, I'm going to use his game plan, and hopefully it works so that we'll be able to take over the earth, to inherit the earth. And so she does meet up with the scientists. Now, you do have the scientists basically say that they have been working on this for a long time. And of course, they tried different ways, but now they finally have a way. And of course, they made a new kind of super Skrulls. Now, this is not the first time we saw a super Skrull. As a matter of fact, they have been around for a very long time. But this is a new kind of super Skrulls. Because basically, this super Skrull will have the ability to change his appearance and, of course, look like someone that he is pretending to be. On top of that, he'll be able to use the powers of the person that he is pretending to be. And also, he'll have the memories of that person that he is pretending to be. He'll have all of that. Now, of course, you do have the scientists say that he made sure these new Skrulls can go to Earth and not be detected at all. And this is actually very huge because when it comes to Earth, you have different groups. You have humans, inhumans, mutants, and folks with magic powers. There's so many different ways where a Skrull could be detected if they go to Earth trying to pretend to be somebody else. But you do have this scientist say, don't worry, I basically found a way to make sure it doesn't happen. And of course, he says, by the way, I already sent one Skrull down there, and she has been down there for a long time, and she still has not been detected at all. And of course, he is talking about the Skrull Elektra that we saw all the way back in New Avengers when we began our coverage over Secret Invasion. Because remember, it was the New Avengers who found out about the idea that Skrulls were invading the Earth by replacing people and pretend to be those people. And of course, Elektra was replaced, and you had the Skrull pretending to be her. And so, of course, this time right here, it does pick up before everything else we covered up to this video right here. And so basically it's her saying, I've been on Earth for a good period of time. I work for S.H.I.E.L.D., I control the hand, I do all these different things. And no one knows that basically I am a Skrull. And that's how good the scientists were. No one on Earth was basically able to detect when a Skrull was on Earth. No mutant, no human, no inhuman, no magic powers, nothing. And this is huge. But it's not over yet, because then you have the queen say, cool, I want more agents on the ground, but I also want to be on the ground as well. And you're kind of like, okay, so who is the queen going to be? And so you do have the queen say, I think I know the person who can cause the most damage. And of course, that person she chose is Spider-Woman. And so we're now left to believe that maybe this entire time that we have been following Spider-Woman, she could have been a Skrull. And this is huge because in our coverage over the entire Secret Invasion, the Prelude, we have seen a lot of Spider-Woman, and she has done a lot. And of course, now the idea is that she could have been a Skrull this entire time. And so is that true or false? Well, we'll find out down the road. But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.